Alright, so we are now at Unit 4 for syllabus, and we're looking at, conducting a feasibility study and crafting a winning business plan. And this unit is very essential because, one, it will assist you in writing your business plan. This unit is also important because it gives us an idea not only how to write our business plan, but some of the essentials that you have to take into consideration before we do our business plan. Alright? And so we're going to start off by looking at what is it we have to do before we do our business plan. And that is feasibility analysis. What is required to do a feasibility analysis? And this is the process of determining whether an entrepreneur's idea is a viable foundation for creating a business plan. It is often said that entrepreneurs do not lack creative ideas, but what they lack is having that viable foundation for creating a successful business plan. Right? And a feasibility study is very essential once you're going to do that business plan, because what it answers, or what it tells us is it helps us to determine whether a business idea is worth pursuing. Should we proceed with this business idea? Should we pursue in doing our black water? Is it viable? Right? When persons buy it, and so we have to conduct a feasibility analysis or feasibility study. And it is important that we know that a feasibility analysis or a study is an investigative tool. It is not the same as a business plan, and it serves as a filter, screening out ideas that lack the potential for building a successful business. Right? Before an entrepreneur commits the necessary resources to building a business plan, he or she must do a feasibility study. And then this brings us to the elements of a feasibility analysis. So there are three elements to be conducted when we're looking at our feasibility analysis. And that is, we have to look at the industry market feasibility. We have to look at the product or service feasibility, and we also have to look at the financial feasibility. But first we're going to look at the industry market feasibility. What are the things that we must know about our market? What is the starting point when we say we're going to look at industry market feasibility? Right? Now there are two areas that we must look at when we say we're going to look at industry market feasibility. We have to determine how attractive an industry is overall, and we also have to look at identify possible niches a small business can occupy profitably. Right? So we need to know how attractive the industry is overall for us. So we can kind of have a new business base, a new home for idea. And we have to look at probably looking into some small markets. So we have to look at the markets already available that our products will be profitable in. And once we're conducting a feasibility analysis, there are some questions that we have to look at. First of all, we have to know how large is the industry that we are going to go into. Not only how large it is, but which industry are we going into? What exactly this idea that we have? Where does it fall? Right? Is the industry profitable? Would you want to be going into a business venture that is not profitable? In the sense that industry is not profitable? Right? How essential are the products or services to the customer? What trends are shaping the industry's future? How crowded is the industry? Is the industry young? When we look at the industry life cycle, is it mature or is it somewhere in between? So going back to our industry life cycle that we did in the previous unit. Alright, what steps does the industry take? This is how our units are linking. And so when we're looking at the industry life cycle and drives all of these questions that we actually have to talk to a young man, and this young man is Michael Porter. Michael Porter is a useful tool for analyzing an industry's attractiveness, because we want to know if the industry is attractive. It has to be attractive for us to enter, and he gives us what he calls the 5-force model that he developed. And in this, we look at the rivalry among companies in the industry. We look at the bargaining power of the suppliers. We look at the bargaining power of buyers. And we look at the threat of new entrants as well as the threat of substitute products or services. And these are the criteria. These are the 5 criteria that we're going to use to assess if the market is attractive. And firstly, we're going to look at the rivalry among existing firms. And Michael Porter says that this is the strongest of the 5 that we're going to look at. The strongest of the 5 forces the rivalry among companies. We want to know how competitive the market is. We want to know if the industry is growing fast enough for us to enter, or is it too fast that we should not enter. I want to look at the number of competitors. Is it large, or as some may say, it is a quite small amount. We want to look at competitors. We want to ensure that the competitors are not similar in size or capacity, so that we can margin and see where it is that we fit in the industry. Alright, perfect example, we look at Digital, Lime, and Claro. None of them are similar in size or capacity. Alright, they all have some advantage over the other in some aspects, whether it is locally or overseas. Alright, want to look at the opportunities. There are opportunities for us to sell differentiated products or services. And once these 4 essentials will let us see or help us to determine whether or not the industry is attractive. And then we look at the bargaining powers of our suppliers. Yes? How do we know that this industry is, I keep doing that, is attractive? Many suppliers sell a commodity or product, so we want to ensure that there are more than one supplier for our product. If it is that we have one supplier, what happens if we're unable to get our product from our supplier? Or let's just say it's only one supplier. What happens when our supplier thinks that he is the one and he's almighty? And if he does all that power, what do we do? Alright? I want to ensure that there are many suppliers, because we want the prices to be competitive in the ingredients that we're getting, or the product, or to help us build our company or our products. So we want to ensure that we have many suppliers selling what we need to produce our goods. Are there substitutes available? And if substitutes are available, will our consumer want it? Can it work? What is the cost of switching from one supplier to another? We want it to be low. We don't want the cost of switching from one supplier to be high, because if it is high, then we would be stuck with that supplier. Alright? So we want to also now look at the bargaining power of our buyers. And when we talk about buyers here, Michael Porter is speaking of the customer. Right? The industry is more attractive when this is when you, the entrepreneur, want to enter the market. You want to enter the industry when the customer switching costs are high. That means it is hard for the customer to switch from your company, what is A and B, to switch to C and D. It's hard for them. They're not going to switch. That's just like our telecom companies. If it is that we have a Lime household, right? We probably don't want to switch because of the switch, because we have to know more and probably get some kind of new contract with a new phone, a new company, and the company out there will probably don't want to go, and it's to go slow, probably have to get stable as well, because it's a compact. So the cost of switching from one telephone provider to another is high. High in the sense that you have to go through the legal, you have a lot of legal processes to do, or you have a lot of things that you have to get straight, or you have to close your contract, and if you have to close your contract, you have to probably pay, etc. So these are the stuff that would make customer switching costs high. This is when you want your industry to be attractive, the number of buyers is large. We want to ensure that we are supplying such a large market out there, right? We want to ensure that when we enter a market, customers want to differentiate their product because we want to produce a product that is different from the other competitors. So we want to ensure that customers want our product. Right? Another thing is, we want to ensure that the customer finds it difficult to collect information for comparing suppliers. Right? Because if it is that the supplier knows that we are getting our product much, much cheaper. Right? The only reason the businesses are not buying our product, especially if we have a super high price, they may say, but look here now, you get this product for $10. And you give me one cheap, and you tell me $30. That is what I do because I have to pay straight to the supplier and get the product, you know? So we want to ensure that it is difficult for them to collect information. It's not easy for them to find out who our suppliers are, because some of us don't know. So we go to stores and buy. Some of us don't know who supplies Fontana with a particular product that we want, who supplies digital with their phone. You know, we don't know, and so we don't do enough investigation to find out. And if we try to investigate, we will not find out. Right? And we want to look at the threat of new entrants. When is it attractive for us to enter the market? When is the market most attractive to you for us? It is attractive when the economics of scale are absent. If they are present, it is not good for us because it's a lot of barriers. But we can enter the market when economic sales are absent. And it is important for us to go back and revise and see what economic sales are. And this is an economic term that we would have used in economics. Right? It is important to know that the industry is most attractive and the capital requirements are low. Low is good. It means therefore it doesn't cost a lot for us to start up the business. Probably we won't have issues with getting loans. Probably the banks are promoting giving business loans to these kind of ventures or products that we are offering. Right? So once the capital requirement is not high, it's good. The cost advantages are not related to the company size. Buyers are not loyal to existing brand. It means therefore when we come out with our product that we are sure that customers will follow us because they are not loyal to a particular brand or company. Government, this is important, the government does not restrict the entrance of new companies. Government does so that is attractive to us because the government has some restrictions on we charge income. Alright? And the cost of substitute. Substitute products or services can turn an industry on its head. Industry is more attractive to new entrants when quality substitutes are not readily available. Because as the entrepreneur selling a product, you want to ensure that there is no substitute to your product. But if you recall, we looked at substitute before. When we are buying from our supplier, we may want to have substitute from our supplier, especially if it is an ingredient that we're using in our product, or it's a component that we need to help us build our product. We may want to ensure that there are substitutes. But as the entrepreneur now, selling a product on the market, the final product on the market, you want to ensure that there is no quality substitute readily available. So the customer will want to buy your product. original subsidies, prices of subsidy products are not significantly lower than those of the industry products. So, the switching costs, therefore, if the prices of subsidy products are not significantly lower than those of the industry, it's neither here nor there for you. You would rather get the original item than getting the substitute. Whereas shipping costs are high, for us to switch to a substitute, it must cost us more. It must inconvenience us to go and get a substitute. Alright? And now we're going to look at the business prototyping. What is business prototyping? That's what we're going to look at next. Alright, so we have looked at the industrial market feasibility. But before we go to the product and service feasibility, we're going to look at business prototyping. What is business prototyping? And what is business prototyping? And business prototyping is a process in which entrepreneurs test their business model on a small scale before committing serious resources to launch a business that might not work. Right? Essentially, business prototyping recognizes every business idea is a hypothesis that needs to be tested before an entrepreneur takes it in full scale. Right? If the test supports the hypothesis and its accompanying assumptions, it is time to launch a company. If the prototype, as Jamaicans would say, flops, the entrepreneur scraps the business idea with only minimum losses and turns to the next idea. The business prototyping is basically a testing your idea to see if it will work. If it doesn't, you don't have much losses. If it does, hooray for you. Alright? Now we're going to look at the product or service feasibility. And what is the product or service feasibility? Oh, before we go to the product or service feasibility, I'm going back to the business prototyping. The business prototyping, yes. Nowadays, the World Wide Web makes business prototyping practical, fast, and easy because you have entrepreneurs that test their ideas by selling their products on established sites such as eBay or by basically setting up their own website and sell their product, and also to test to see if their product will be successful. Alright, so if customers really want a product, and sometimes they have feedback, and so customers send in their feedback on the product. Alright, so when we look at the product, the second element, the product or service feasibility analysis. What does this entail? A product or service feasibility analysis determines the degree to which a product or service idea appeals to potential customers and identify the resources necessary to produce the product or provide the service. Because remember, we don't only have to do a product, we can do a service. Let me just bring this up for you. And we have to ask two questions. Remember, we asked two questions before for the industry and market feasibility analysis. I'm wondering if you can remember those two questions without going back. Right? What were the two questions that you would ask in the industry market feasibility? You would ask to determine how attractive an industry is overall. Can we call it our home? Can we call it our business? Or to identify the possible niche a small business can occupy profitable. And now in the product or service feasibility analysis, there are two questions again that we should ask ourselves. Are customers willing to purchase our good or service? Can we provide the product or service to customers at a profit? Are customers willing to purchase our goods and services? Can we provide the product or service to a customer at a profit? Those are two essential questions that we should ask when we're looking at a product or service feasibility. So how are you going to answer these questions now? Right? We have to conduct a primary research, and probably by extension we probably would have to do a secondary research. And as you know, primary research is collecting data firsthand and analyzing it. Right? So we probably would have to do customer surveys. We probably would have to do focus groups as you would have done in your marketing. Right? And we also would have to, of course, it is less expensive, look at secondary research to gather data that already has been compiled and analyze it, because we want to know our customers willing to purchase our goods and services, right? We want to go out there and survey our customers, give them questionnaires, probably we want to show them the product and see what they think about it. We want to do primary research. We want to have focus group, probably have 8 or 10 persons in a room. We probably show them the product, speak to them about product. I'll probably speak to them about what is there, because we want to get an idea of will our product, can we bring our product on the market? Will they buy our product? And so we want. And this, my friend, is something that you would have done extensively when you did market research in your marketing course. Huh? And another thing we would look at is prototypes. Right? So we look at prototypes. Or we can probably have in-home trials where we would give them the product. We give them the product, and see how it is. We look and see how the customers actually use the product or service while it's at home. So we send the researchers into the customer's home to observe them as they use the company's product or service, whatever that is. And just to go back and to look at prototype. Prototype is an original functional model of a new product that entrepreneurs can put into the hands of potential customers so that they can see it, test it, and use it. So sometimes we go into stores, supermarkets or stores, and there's a new product out there. It's not yet on the shelves, and the sales clerk will say to you, it's not yet on our shelves, and they give you like a packet of the product, right? And tell you to go home and use it. And probably they have an address at the back where you can go in and put in your response. And if it is that person's actually like the product, you will say to you, in a few months or so, the product will be on the market. And I actually had to do that when I was doing my thesis. We were looking at Western Food, and it's a can company, and he sells lovely potato pudding in can. He does nice ketchup. He does all of that. And so we had to go into the supermarket, and we gave them samples to taste, and everybody was saying, when is this coming on the market? When is this coming? It's nice, it's nice. And we said to them, based on your feedback and based on person's feedback of the product, then it's a possibility that the product will come on the market. So from time to time you go to these stores and you get little samples and stuff, and probably could have 3 weeks and you can't find the product on the market because they're doing their research and tallying the information to see if it is that it will if they will put it on the market. So the product or service feasibility, when we're doing this, we're basically answering 2 questions. Are customers willing to purchase our goods and services? That is what we want to find out. Can we provide the product or service to customers with a profit? And we're going to do this. We're going to search, we're going to find this information by doing primary research, whether it's through questionnaires, surveys, sampling, focus group, and secondary research, gathering information, right? Gathering information from probably from census data, other market research, from articles, from the World Wide Web. We're going to do prototypes when we basically give the potential customers a sample of the product, and so they can see it and test it and use it, and until they give us a feedback. Or we have in-home trials where the customers try them home, and with the researchers will go into the homes with them and observe and see how they use the products or services. And a good example of in-home trials is if you watch those design shows, and sometimes they would have a new product and they want, they will carry the new product to the person's home and test it out and show them how to use it. Right? In-home trials, or if you live in the United States and they have a new vacuum cleaner, they will come to your house from the music and show you how to use it at home. They're probably use it for 2 or 3 days and see if you like it. If you like it, so you might get to keep it for further. Alright. And this is just giving you information on the prototype. Which I said, a prototype is an original functional model of a new product that entrepreneurs can put into the hands of potential customers so that they can see it, test it, and use it. Prototypes usually point out potential problems because they're getting to see how the customers would use it and themselves if you have any problems. Gives feedback leads to improvement. I'm assuming that should be. So then look at the financial feasibility analysis. I want to know what's the financial feasibility analysis. That's what we're going to look at now. Alright, so we're going to do a financial study or analysis. We're going to look at the capital requirement and must have an estimate of how much startup capital is required to launch the business. We must know how much capital to start our business, and we have found this out also through doing our industry analysis, where we want to know if it is, when we look at attractiveness, one of the attractiveness is that it's just too high or it's too low, and we need to know. Alright, so one of this we want to look at the financial feasibility analysis. We want to look at the capital requirement. Must have an estimate of how much startup capital is required to launch the business. And this would have found out from our industry analysis. So we look at how attractive the industry was. We would have realized how much capital we would have needed to enter the business. We also need to know the estimated earnings, right? How much earnings we have to do a forecasting of how much now we will probably earn and see if it is profitable. Financial feasibility analysis will answer our question. Overall return on investment